Depending on your point of view, the 32nd Genie Awards will be more fun than the Oscars to watch. First and foremost, as Canadians, it's our chance to celebrate internationally recognized excellence in film. And it is unlikely that the dictator Sacha Baron Cohen will show up. He is still explaining his red carpet shenanigans to authorities. The Genies will be hosted by our very lovable George Stroumboulopoulos and our very own Billy Crystal, comedian Andrea Martin. Canada's version of the Oscars will be a very different event than the high-octane affair recently aired in LA. We are restrained and sophisticated in Canada, as Christopher Plummer so elegantly showed the world at the Oscars when he stepped up to accept his elusive golden statuette. The caliber of film talent will be amazing. Canadians have shone internationally in every area of filmmaking, and this year is no exception. The pre-Genie party will be held at TIFF Lightbox before guests move to the Harbour Castle Westin for the Genies, which will stream live and be shown on CBC from Toronto. Award season has been rolling since January, where it began in LA with the People's Choice Awards. Then, a dizzying series of events has had celebrities traveling from LA to London for the Brit Awards, and back again to LA for the Oscars, with many other music and film awards in between. It won't be surprising that by the time the Genies roll around, many celebs may be suffering from awards exhaustion. High-profile films up for Genies include A Dangerous Method, directed by David Cronenberg. A Dangerous Method is up for 11 Genie nominations. A Dangerous Method is a real departure from Cronenberg's other movies. It has the cinematic feel of a Merchant Ivory production. Cronenberg says this was a deliberate decision to create the feeling of the era. Cronenberg gives a Freudian glimpse into a very personal world, sexually charged, provocative, and superbly filmed. The biopic is based on the remarkable personal letters between Freud, played by Viggo Mortensen, and Carl Jung, played by Michael Fassbender, and Jung's patient and lover, Sabrina Spielrein, played by Keira Knightley. Canadian director David Cronenberg, best known as the king of venereal horror, has enjoyed a long career in the spotlight as a controversial director and mass media guru. He found international celebrity with his remake of Stephen King's The Dead Zone and The Fly. Dead Ringers and Naked Lunch brought Cronenberg international critical acclaim. He has had a number of films at Cannes and Berlin, including A History of Violence. A Dangerous Method premiered at the Venice Film Festival this year, where MyETV Media caught up with the full cast. Café de Flore is directed by Jean-Marc Vallée, who has brought a number of award-winning films to the screen, including Young Victoria and Crazy. Café de Flore is up for 13 Genie nominations. Vallée wrote and directed this beautiful, suspenseful, complicated love story that is intricately woven together between two worlds by music. The film stars Vanessa Paradis with a Genie nom for Best Actress. Mystic forces, destiny, fate, love, and loss weave the film's characters together in an intricate manner that defies time and space. Human emotions are not fully expressed without the element of sexuality. Vallée brings the power of the character's sexuality fully on screen. Vanessa Paradis is the mother of Laurent, a young, Down syndrome boy whom she adores and lives for. He is the center of her universe. He loves the jazz album Café de Flore and insists on listening to it constantly. They live in Paris, and the year is 1969. Is there room in Jacqueline's world for anyone else to love Laurent? Will the attentions of another young girl with Down syndrome suddenly open a crack in the cocoon Jacqueline has spun? This film is at the top of Canada's feature films this year. It premiered at the Venice International Film Fest and then went on to TIFF. It is an unusual film, powerful, engaging, and in some ways shocking. Café de Flore missed an Oscar nomination in the Best Foreign Film category, which went to the film Monsieur Lazare. Monsieur Lazare is nominated for a number of Genies, including Best Picture. Writer-director Philippe Falardeau has just returned from the red carpet, where the film received an Oscar nomination for Best Foreign Film. Monsieur Lazare premiered at TIFF and won Best Canadian Feature Film this year. The same Oscar-nominated production team that did Incendies brings us this beautiful, sensitive story. Philippe Falardeau based some of his work in this film on his own unique experience traveling around the Middle East for a year, making movie segments for a reality show 20 years ago. The experience made him very sympathetic to the reality of being an immigrant. He also missed the opportunity to visit Algeria because of political unrest at the time. He felt a great connection with the character and the actor Felag, who plays Monsieur Lazare. The screenplay written by Falardeau is surprisingly based on a one-man play by Evelyn de la Chenelière. Canadian screenwriter David Shamoun's film In Darkness was nominated as Poland's entry in the Best Foreign Film category at the Oscars. He was inspired to write In Darkness after reading a single sentence in a Toronto newspaper in an article entitled The Righteous. This article describes a book that catalogued those incredibly courageous individuals who risked not only their own lives, but also the lives of their families by helping Jews escape the clutches of the Nazis during World War II. David Shamoun then began an 8-year journey that would take him to the sewers of Lviv, Ukraine, into a bitterly cold set at the legendary Ballsberg studio just outside Berlin. MyETV Media caught up with David in LA on the red carpet. He is nominated for a Genie. Other outstanding Genie nominees include Rachel Weisz in The Whistleblower, Michelle Williams in Sarah Polley's Take This Waltz, and TIFF favorite Starbuck. Wildlife, up for a Genie in animation, also won an Oscar nomination. Check back for more Film Awards updates, including our special Oscar fashion feature with Nick Verios, mentor to the Canadian Project Runway.